Season 11 launches December 9th, and you need a game plan. New itemization, sanctification, tower leaderboards, everything is changing. Today, I'm walking you through exactly what to do on day 1. Your hour-by-hour plan, what to prioritize, what to avoid, and how to get ahead of the curve. Let's prepare. What to expect? Alright guys, Season 11 drops December 9th, and based on everything we learned from PTR and dev interviews, this is going to feel different. Like really different. Let me break down what you should expect the moment servers go live. First thing you're going to notice, Campaign Skip gives you everything. All waypoints unlocked, full map revealed, you're ready to go immediately. No more running around, clicking waypoints on every alt. This is going to be a massive quality of life win right out of the gate. Second, leveling should feel smoother. Based on PTR testing and the buffs they mentioned, getting to 60 is going to be faster than Season 10. The new divine gifts and seasonal mechanics should help with this. The pace should feel good. Third, and this is the big one, itemization is going to feel different. You'll be seeing 4 affixes on items instead of 3. You'll only get 1 temper slot, but you can pick exactly what you want. No more gambling, no more bricking items at the blacksmith. It's going to feel way more intentional and way less frustrating. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me walk you through exactly what you should be doing on day 1, hour by hour. Step 1. If you're starting fresh, you're skipping the campaign. Obviously, nobody's running the campaign again unless you're a masochist or a new player. Hit that skip button, and boom, you're in World Tier 3 with everything unlocked. Your goal is simple. Get to level 60 as fast as possible. How do you do that? Same as always. Hell Tides, Whispers, Nightmare Dungeons. Nothing has changed here mechanically. But here's the difference in Season 11. You're picking up way more usable items along the way. Because items now drop with 4 affixes, you're finding good gear more consistently. In Season 10, you were salvaging 95% of your drops. In Season 11, you're actually looking at items and going, okay, this has 3 good affixes, I can work with this. The loot feels better immediately. Also, divine gifts. Make sure you're unlocking these as you level. These are your seasonal blessings, and some of them are insanely strong for leveling. I'm not going to do a full divine gifts breakdown here because that's a whole separate video, but just know prioritize the ones that boost your damage or make you tanky. The faster you level, the faster you get to the real endgame. Pro tip, don't waste time min-maxing your leveling gear. You're replacing everything at 60 anyway. Just grab whatever has your main stat and some damage, slap a random aspect on it, and keep moving. Your goal is speed, not perfection. Step 2. Once you hit 60, you're ready for Torment. But here's the thing, don't just immediately jump into Torment 1 and start dying. Take 30 minutes to actually gear up properly first. Go to the Tree of Whispers. Open your Whisper caches. You should have a bunch saved up from leveling. These drop ancestral gear now, which is what you need for Torment. Look for items with 3 or 4 good affixes. If you find something with 2 good affixes and 2 bad ones, go to the Occultist and enchant one of the bad affixes. Try to get a 3rd good stat. Once you have a decent set of ancestral gear, go to the Blacksmith. This is where the new tempering system shines. Pick your tempering manual. Look at the 3 to 4 affixes it offers. Choose the one you want. Apply it. Done. No RNG, no bricking. You got exactly what you needed. Do this for every piece of gear. Weapons, armor, jewelry, everything. You only get 1 temper per item now, so make it count. Pick the affix that's most important for your build. For DPS, that's usually a damage multiplier. For defense, that's usually damage reduction or a defensive stat. Now you're ready for Torment. Start with Torment 1. Don't ego push into Torment 3 immediately just because you can. Torment 1 is perfectly fine for farming your first set of endgame gear. You're getting ancestral drops, you're getting masterworking materials, you're progressing. Don't make it harder than it needs to be. Step 3. Alright, you've got some decent ancestral gear with good affixes and a temper on each piece. Now it's time to masterwork. This is where Season 11's new system really comes into play. Go to the Blacksmith. Slot in your weapon first. The weapons benefit the most from masterworking because quality directly boosts base damage. You're going to masterwork it up to quality 20. Each level costs materials, and each level adds a random 2 to 5 quality. It's still RNG here, but it's less punishing than the old system. Once you hit quality 20, you unlock the capstone. This upgrades 1 random non-greater affix into a greater affix. If it hits the wrong affix, don't panic. You can re-roll it. It costs Obdicite and Neat Hyron, but you're not losing your quality progress. Just keep re-rolling until it hits the affix you want. For your first day, I'd recommend masterworking your weapon to quality 20 and hitting the capstone. Then do the same for your chest and pants. Those 3 pieces give you the biggest power spike. You can worry about the rest of your gear later once you have more materials. Pro tip, don't masterwork random items just because you have materials. Wait until you have a solid item with at least 3 good affixes and a good temper. Masterworking a mediocre item is a waste. Be patient, farm a bit more, and masterwork the right items. Step 4. Once you're masterworked and comfortable in Torment, it's time to hit the pit. Your goal is leveling your glyphs to 100. This is still one of the most important endgame grinds, and it hasn't changed in Season 11. Start at whatever pit tier feels comfortable. If you're clearing it with 3 to 4 minutes left on the timer, jump up 5 to 10 tiers. If you're barely clearing with 30 seconds left, jump up 1 to 2 tiers. Find your sweet spot where you're clearing efficiently without dying. The good news is boss HP got reduced by up to 60%. If you played Season 10 and remember those 5-minute immortal boss fights at high tiers, that's gone. Bosses die way faster now. You're spending more time clearing mobs and less time face tanking a damage sponge. It feels so much better. Farm the pit until your main glyphs are at least level 50 to 75. You don't need to push for 100 on day 1. That's a long-term grind. But getting your core glyphs to 50 or higher is a huge power spike and makes everything else easier. Also, save your Obdicite. You're going to need it for re-rolling capstones, and eventually for Sanctification. Don't blow it all masterworking every single item you find. Be smart about your material usage. Step 5. Alright, here's the big question everyone's asking. Should you sanctify items on day 1? My answer is no. Absolutely not. Do not sanctify anything on your first day unless you have a perfect item and a backup. Here's why. Sanctification is endgame min-maxing. It's the final step in your item journey. If you sanctify an item and it bricks, that item is significantly worse or you lose the good roll you had. You don't want to do that with your only good weapon or your only good chess piece. Wait until you have duplicates. Wait until you have farmed enough heavenly sigils that you can afford to gamble. Wait until your build is actually solid and you're just looking for that final 5 to 10% power increase. Then, and only then, start sanctifying. For day 1, your goal is simple. Get to 60, get into Torment, masterwork your core items, farm pit for glyphs. Don't even think about Sanctification yet. You'll thank me later when you're not sitting there with a bricked build-defining unique because you got impatient on day 1. The tower is live and leaderboards are up. Should you be pushing it on day 1? Depends on your goals. If you're a competitive player trying to hit top ranks, then yeah, you probably want to start tower pushing early. The earlier you get a good clear, the higher you rank, while everyone else is still gearing up. Early bird gets the worm and all that, but if you're a more casual player or you're just trying to get your build together, I'd say wait. The tower isn't going anywhere. Leaderboards reset every season. You have time. Focus on gearing up properly first, then worry about tower when you're actually strong enough to push high tiers. Also remember, the tower has milestone rewards coming long term, but those aren't in the game yet. Right now, it's just for bragging rights, so unless you're super competitive, there's no rush. That said, if you do want to try the tower, here's a quick tip. The maps are improved from PTR, they're more open, less fishing required, more fair overall, but you're still going to see variance. Some maps are better than others. Don't get frustrated if you get a bad map. Just reset and try again. That's part of the endgame grind. Divine Gifts. Divine Gifts are Season 11's seasonal mechanic. These are basically blessings you unlock by doing seasonal objectives. Some are insanely strong, others are niche. Let me give you my day 1 priority list. First priority, damage multipliers. Look for divine gifts that directly increase your damage. Things like core skills deal X% more damage, or critical strikes do X% more damage. These are universal and every build wants them. Second priority, survivability. If you're squishy and dying a lot, grab the defensive divine gifts. Things like you take X% less damage, or barriers are X% stronger. Staying alive is more important than doing slightly more damage. Third priority, build-specific synergies. Some divine gifts are tailored to specific builds or playstyles. If you're playing a minion necro, grab the minion buffs. If you're playing a DOT build, grab the DOT buffs. These are niche but powerful if they fit your build. Don't spread yourself too thin. Focus on maxing out a few strong divine gifts instead of unlocking everything halfway. You'll get more value that way. Early mistakes to avoid. Let me save you some headaches by listing the most common mistakes I'm seeing players make on day 1. Mistake 1. Sanctifying too early. I already covered this, but I'm saying it again. Do not sanctify items on day 1. Wait until you have backups and extra heavenly sigils. Patience saves you from regret. Mistake 2. Not using the new tempering system. Some people are still treating tempering like it's Season 10. They're scared to temper items because they think they will brick them. You can't brick items with tempering anymore. You can reset it infinitely. Use it. Experiment. Find what works. Mistake 3. Ignoring masterworking. Some people are skipping masterworking entirely because they're waiting for perfect items. Don't do this. Masterwork your good items now. You'll get more power immediately, and if you find better items later, you can salvage the old ones and get Obdicite back. Masterworking is not a waste. Mistake 4. Pushing Torment tiers too fast. I've seen people jump from Torment 1 straight to Torment 4 and then wonder why they're getting one shot. Slow down. Progress naturally. Torment 2 is fine. Torment 3 is fine. You don't need to be in Torment 4 on day 1. Mistake 5. Not enjoying the season. This is the biggest one. Don't stress about being optimal. Don't stress about leaderboards. Don't stress about having perfect gear on day 1. Just play the game, have fun, experiment with builds, and enjoy the new systems. That's what seasons are for. What I'm most excited for. Alright, let me give you my completely honest take on what I'm most excited for, based on everything we've seen from PTR and dev interviews. The new tempering system. This is going to be fantastic. Not having to deal with RNG when applying affixes is going to be such a relief. We'll finally be able to plan our gear instead of gambling and hoping. This alone should make the itemization experience way better. Masterworking changes. The new system should feel less frustrating. Yeah, the capstone is still RNG, but being able to re-roll it without losing quality is going to be huge. The old system where you'd reset everything and start over was soul-crushing. This should be way more forgiving. Sanctification. I'm both scared and excited for this. The fact that items won't get completely deleted makes it feel less terrifying. I'm actually curious to try it once I have some backup gear. The potential power ceiling is insane, and the gambling element adds endgame chase. The tower. Based on what we've seen, the improved maps should make a big difference. Less fishing, more skill expression, more fair competition. I'm looking forward to competing on leaderboards with a system that actually works properly. Boss HP reduction. This is going to be noticeable. Pit bosses that used to take 4 to 5 minutes should now take 2 minutes. I won't be sitting there bored waiting for a health bar to drain. Should feel way more engaging. Overall, Season 11 looks like Blizzard listened to feedback and made real improvements. Is it going to be perfect? Probably not, but it should be way better than PTR, and it looks like a solid foundation for future seasons. I'm cautiously optimistic about where Diablo 4 is heading. What to expect in the first week? Let me set some realistic expectations for your first week in Season 11. Don't expect to have perfect gear by day 3. Don't expect to be clearing pit 100 by day 5. This is a marathon, not a sprint. Week 1 is about getting your foundation. Level to 60, get into Torment, masterwork your core items, level your glyphs to 50 or higher, and start farming materials. That's it. If you accomplish that, you're in great shape. Week 2 is when you start pushing. Masterwork more items, get your glyphs to 75 or higher, farm heavenly sigils, start thinking about sanctification. By the end of week 2, you should have a solid build and be ready for high-tier content. Week 3 and beyond, that's when you're min-maxing. Sanctifying items, pushing leaderboards, chasing perfect gear, competing in the tower. But don't rush to get there. Enjoy the journey, enjoy the grind. That's what makes seasons fun. Alright guys, that's your complete Season 11 Day 1 plan. December 9th, you're going to level to 60, get into Torment, masterwork your gear, farm the pit, and absolutely do not sanctify anything yet. Follow this plan, and you'll have a solid foundation for the rest of the season. If you're ready for Season 11, hit that like button and subscribe. I'll be streaming on launch day, so come hang out on Twitch if you want to see this plan in action and ask questions live. What class are you planning to play? Are you excited or nervous about the changes? Let me know in the comments.